Hey, what's up everyone, Mr. J313 here from Bro Gaming Official. Yes, Mr. J. I am on T-Boss's account to get some gameplay footage of a few of his classes, and this one in particular, the Salarian Infiltrator. I went ahead and made a build guide with it and got some gameplay, and I'm here to share it with you guys. So I'm going to be naming this build guide the Assassin Salarian Infiltrator because he is all about that extra bonus damage and getting those 1 or 2, maybe 3 shot kills at most on some of them heavy enemies. Now by heavy enemies I don't mean the Hydra. You ain't gonna kill no Hydra in 3 shots. Come on, get real. It takes 3 fucking Cobra rockets on gold to kill a Hydra, so whatever. So let's jump right into it, guys. Now first off, for weapons, I am using the Vanquisher on this build. It is my personal favorite sniper. I just feel like with 4 rounds in the mag and the damage that it does, it's just all around the best sniper in my opinion, at least. The Widow, the Black Widow, the Ashare, they're all good. They're all really great snipers as well, so I mean it's really just a personal preference. I'm running the thermal clip storage on this build. He is in a negative 9% recharge, and that does kind of hurt, especially having his tactical cloak, but it's not that bad. For consumables, if you're going to use a booster, I would just use sniper rifle amps or maybe an ammo. That's really the only thing I would probably use as a booster. So let's move on to skills and get into the bulk of the the build. So first off, we have Sticky Grenade. I spec'd it all the way into 5. Oh, and before I get into this, his Salarian Infiltrator, T-Boss's, he has the 4. So we have a couple extra skill points there to play with. So as I was saying, Sticky Grenade, I went up to 5. Oh, excuse me, guys. You're gonna go first 3, then you're gonna go top and top. I personally feel like the extra damage and then carrying an extra 2 is the way to go on that. Damage radius is nice, but I feel like having more direct damage with the Sticky Grenade is better because it already does some massive damage, and that just stacking on top of it is just crazy. I feel like Shrapnel would be a really good skill, but I don't want to use it simply because they don't say for how long the DPS will affect an enemy, so I'm not going to use it until I see that or know. I don't know if there is anyone that knows. If you do know, please let me know down in the comments, guys. Oh, sorry guys, it's getting real early in the morning now, and I have been up for too long, so now we're going to move on to Tactical Cloak. This is where the bulk of the build is. So you're going to max it out. You're going to go first 3, you're going to go bottom, top, and then bottom. So between recharge speed and damage bonus, it's pretty obvious. This is a build all about doing extra damage. So you're going to get the damage bonus. Then you're going to get duration, just in case you need to stay invis a little bit longer. I personally feel like with this build, it's a lot better than movement speed because this isn't a getting out of situations build, but you can definitely use Tactical Cloak to get out of situations, but this is more about sitting tight in your spot and just dishing out that damage. And then lastly, you're going to use Combat Cloak. That is where the best skill of this build is. So with Tactical Cloak, whenever you shoot or use a power or melee, you uncloak. Well, with Combat Cloak, you will stay cloaked for an extra 2 seconds after firing, meleeing, or using a power. So that is where you can stack so much damage. It is ridiculous. Alright, and then Energy Drain. Energy Drain, it is a very important skill. That is why I moved it up to 4. Typically in a build like this, you know, I would only go into 3, but I feel like Energy Drain is pretty important for the Salarian Infiltrator because he is a pretty squishy character. So you're going to go first 3 and then top. I personally feel like getting a little bit extra damage from it plus the extra shield restore, it is definitely worth having. Then we're going to go to Offensive Tech. You have to max this out for this build. That is where you're going to get a lot of bonus damage, especially in Technical Synergy. So you're going to go first 3, you're going to go top, bottom, and then top. Now on 5 for Offensive Tech, that is purely personal choice. Anything that is anti-armor, anti-shield, that is almost 100% personal choice, guys. But I personally like doing more damage to armor because I mainly fight outlaws on gold. or I just like dealing out damage to armor, especially Hydras, Fiends. After you take down a destroyer shields, it's just all about that armor damage, in my opinion at least. That's why I almost always will go with armor damage when I have to spec into that. So on 4, you're going to go power enhancement for the extra 10% power damage for your sticky grenade, plus an extra 20% effect duration. You're going to get an extra 20% on your tactical cloak. Combo detonation, that's not really important for this build, but it would be important if you were using your energy drain to detonate, or combos, whatever. I'm too tired for these guys, but I will carry on. And then finally, tactical synergy. That is where another big bonus in this build comes from. After using a power, you will have 5 seconds to do an extra 30% weapon damage. So that is going to stack on top of everything. So whenever you cloak, if you already have your target in your sights and you fire, you can one-shot a lot of enemies. Sharpshooters, one-shot. Anarchist, Agent, Pariah, you can all one-shot them. Berserkers, it's probably about a 2 or 3 shot, but I mean that's pretty crazy. And then on support systems, I only went into the first 2. Really, you don't have to really spec into support systems for this build, because he's not about getting the extra melee damage or health and shields. I mean, if you were at 4 and you could get the extra durations, that would be very helpful for staying cloaked longer. But really, that's about it. That's all you would really need from the support system skill tree. So that's really why I didn't want to spec into it much. I would find that speccing into sticky grenade for more armor or shield damage, or on energy drain, speccing into it more, I would personally find that more helpful or beneficial than speccing into support systems. But as I had run out of skill points, I just decided to toss the first 2 in support systems. So that's really about everything for this build. It's a really nasty build, guys. It's a lot of damage that you can dish out to pretty much everything on the field. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some gameplay, and I'm going to show you guys the key points of this build and what makes him a true assassin. Alright guys, before we get any further into this build guide, throughout all of this gameplay you will be seeing me use a Vanquisher, but after patch 1.05 came out, I have noticed that the Vanquisher doesn't seem to do as much damage since they did nerf the glitch, eliminating the 100% damage every so often, or every other shot. I'm not sure how exactly it worked, but it doesn't seem to do as much damage, and I have noticed that. So another great weapon that you can use, it would be my second personal favorite, would be the Widow. Now I have the Widow 10, so that's why I really love that gun. Is at 10, it is amazing. Black Widow would also be another good contestant. If you are a fan of the single shot rifles, the Ashare would also be a good contender. So that's really personal preference. Any of those 4 would be great to use. Those are the high damage snipers that I will only be using on these extreme damage build guys. I know that I have seen other people, and I'm interested in using the Indra because I've seen some people do some real good work with it, but I'm more interested in massive damage with this build. This build is all about stacking weapon damage and killing higher value targets in 1, 2, 3 shots. That is what this build revolves around. So let's get right into it. Like I said in the skill trees whenever I was talking about one-shotting some enemies, now this build, as you can see there, that Berserker's down. 2 shots. Agents, Pariahs, Anarchists, they will all drop in 1 shot when you're cloaked and you get a headshot. It is 1 shot for those guys. The Sharpshooter, 1 shot as well, if you have all of your bonuses stacked up, and they all stack, and it is some massive damage. Now, especially if you're using the Widow or the Ashare, with them doing over 1,000 damage per shot, I imagine that you could definitely kill a Berserker in 2 shots for sure, and that is especially whenever you're attacking Hydras, Fiends, Destroyers. That damage is going to be through the roof using them. So another point with sticky grenades. Now, sticky grenades, you can use them defensively or offensively. So, defensively, whenever I say that, you know, obviously you can use them either way, but they're not like trip mines. You can't place them out. But whenever you're being assaulted, you know, you can throw them as a last line of defense. Or offensively, if there's a funnel of enemies like this, you can just throw all of them down the line, which you will see me do a little bit throughout the gameplay, and you will just basically start killing everything down there. Now, obviously, these larger enemies like the Berserker or the Hydra or something with massive amounts of health, you're not going to kill them through all of that. But if you have a lot of sticky grenades and you can continuously get some more resupplies, you can just keep throwing them down there, and it is crazy because those sticky grenades do so much damage. It is ridiculous. But that is not the focal point of this build. The focal point is simply stacking sniper rifle damage. That is where the assassin part comes in. Now, another great thing you can do with this build is ghost capping objectives. So whenever you are playing and you get the devices mission, which is another great one for this build. Any build that has tactical cloak or stealth grid is great at getting the devices objective because they can go invisible, sneak in there, grab it, and get out. And targets as well. If you have targets and your team is having a hard time get to the target, you can simply go invisible, run to the target, stick sticky grenades all over them, and at that point they're dead. You can get in, get out, no trouble. And if you have a lot of your teammates, you know, if no one else really has tactical cloak, then that's where you're going to shine, is because you can do that. As well as getting rid of these high health enemies, or anyone armored or shielded that everyone else is having to wither down, you're just going to take them down straight away. That is a great point about this build, and that is why in an effective team composition, an infiltrator, such as the Salarian Infiltrator, who's stacking weapon damage, is very effective and a crucial point if you want an effective team comp. Now, I've been thinking about doing a video on the best way for team composition. I've been really interested in doing that video, but I'm not sure how many people would be interested in that. So if you would be interested in seeing best teams together, you know, team composition builds, let me know down in the comments, and I would love to do a video of that for you guys. So just let me know down below if you would like to see that. I have a few other builds. Right now, I am working on the Human Kineticist. I have all the gameplay for her. She will probably be next for my next build guide, but I just unlocked the Salarian Architect, and I'm trying to grind him out to 20. I was working on the Angara Insurgent, so I'm kind of all over the place right now, but since the Salarian Architect is brand new, I really wanted to do him first. Sorry I'm getting off topic of the build, guys, but really this build is pretty straightforward. It is simply invisible, shoot the bad guy in the face, and they die. That is really all you need to know about this build. Beyond working these skill points, it is pretty simple. Now, energy drain, it is an amazing skill to have, and that is why I don't find speccing into support systems is that crucial, because simply with having energy drain, you can get your shields back as well as do damage to an enemy who's closing in on you. So that's where his self-sustainability comes in. You don't need to get the extra shields and max health because he has that ability. So that's what really makes him effective at getting in and out of situations and staying alive, as long as he has it. So that's another problem with the Vanquisher, is it's so heavy. But if you have the sniper rifle lightweight materials maxed out, or at least to where the Vanquisher will not cause you to be in the negatives, that is amazing, and you should definitely use that on your weapon mods. Anytime you have the chance to use lightweight material mods on your weapon, you should probably use it. On this, I was using lightweight materials. Actually, I believe that's what I was using, but I was also using, what was I using? I believe it was spare ammo. I cannot remember. This footage was from a few days ago, but I do remember that I was using incendiary ammo, and that was a very helpful thing. That's another thing, guys. When you're using consumables, you need to really look at all of them. Amps and ammo types will buff your damage. All ammo types will give you a small buff of overall damage, as well as whatever they're spec'd to. Incendiary is for armor and flesh. Disruptor is for shields, and it will also stun enemies. Cryo ammo is for slowing enemy down and freezing them with enough sustained fire. but they all give you a slight buff in damage. I believe at the bronze level amp, the most common amp, it is a 2.5% damage increase. So that's not a lot, but it's gonna stack with everything else. Plus, that damage is stacked while you're uninvisible, so it will be a constant damage buff. So any damage that you can stack, you should stack, because you may get to a point in this build where you stack so much damage that you can one-shot berserkers with a Widow, and if you can do that, that's fucking awesome, because at that point you're at the peak of this build and you're killing everything. And that is why I believe this would be a good solo build. I haven't tried it. I kind of want to try it, but I'm not sure with the other build guides that I'm wanting to do right now if I will get a chance to anytime soon. But it is definitely something that I believe is very possible that you could do, especially since he has Tactical Cloak instead of Stealth Grid, so he has the ability to continuously use it and not have to worry about running out of ammo cells. So that's what really makes him even better in my opinion, is because he doesn't have Stealth Grid, he has Tactical Cloak. Now you cannot cloak your teammates, but it will last longer and you can do it to yourself as much as you want as long as it's charged. So that's why I personally would prefer Tactical Cloak over Stealth Grid any day of the week. But that's just my personal preference, guys. He's not as much meant to be a support, he's meant to be damage. He can't tank, he can't support, he is straight damage. He is a sniper that will kill everything. That is where he comes in. So if he has someone to defend him, someone to tank up in front to draw all of the berserkers aggro and to keep them away from him, he can kill everything. That is what is good about him. So, you know, that's really all I have to say about this build. He's a really straightforward build. Cloak, shoot, rinse and repeat. That's where he comes in handy. You just got to be mindful of your sticky grenades and how many you have and how much you have used the ammo crates, because it will take your ammo cells and they will run out quickly if you're constantly using them for groups of enemies or to kill someone who is harassing you from behind. So this build will really work great on every map, unless you're really playing on the tight quarters map. I can never remember its name, but it is the hangar map. Sniper builds never work that great for that map, simply because it seems a lot more clustered and claustrophobic, so a sniper build isn't always the best idea for that map, but you can make it work pretty easy. So that's all I have to say about this build, guys. I have the Human Kineticist, the Angara Insurgent, and the Salarian Architect that I'm all working on. The Human Kineticist will be coming out very soon. I've decided that I'm going to be doing build guides every Monday and Friday, so as of right now, Monday and Friday are the upload schedule, so tell all your friends, share us around. And if you're new around here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video to help us out, be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, guys, this is Mr. J313, and I will be catching you on the next one.